Now, I deploy commander.
Yo, what's up? I'm Spacebar, and you guys are joining me here to watch this react video of the new Toy Commander World Record that just happened. I am super excited to get into this. Okay, so first thing we got to do, we got to turn the stove on. It takes 10 seconds to heat the water up, so it's the first thing we're going to do. Pretty difficult to get that shot off, that's why we do the stage first, and now we just got to knock the eggs in. A little tricky, but we get a nice roll there. Usually your plane loses momentum, but nice and easy. Try to flex by breaking the other egg, and unfortunate miss. 22, pretty good start. Pretty standard, you know, just early game run. Nothing special. Onto the Rings of Fire. One lap race. You'll see a theme of these races, or maybe not so much in this run, where you have to get through all the green rings. Now, as you can see right there, you don't exactly have to go through the green circle that you're seeing, but the trigger volume is actually in a different location, so as long as you trigger it, you're okay. And there we go, a nice mid-24. Nothing to complain about. Onto Deep Sea Trap. I think that's what the name of the stage is. This one you just have to kill a couple submarines, so just have some nice plane movement. And each one of these submarines is going to take 4 pencil missile shots, which are homing attack missiles as long as they are within the white circle. And you're close enough. And take out the final 3 planes, get a sub-20, that's always nice to see. Onto Blow the Bridge Down. This is a little bit of a trickier one. A little fun mechanics going on here. So you have a plane and a hostage pickup vehicle. We're going to use our hostage pickup vehicle, aka the army truck. Has some charming little movement here through the fireplace, which looks pretty nice. Not bad so far. A little bit of slop going up that ramp. Ramps are weird in this game. You can't just go straight up them. You have to come in at an angle or else your tires get all stuck and you lose time. Just gonna come in and pick up that bomb and get onto the bridge, and we're gonna try to have this enemy shoot us but hit his own bomb. So he tries to shoot us, we drop the bomb after he shot the missile, and it blows up his own bomb. Nicely done. Don't even need the plane. Onto the first boss of the first area, Cyclone. This one, you gotta be really precise with the shots. Bosses have weak spots, arm, and head. And that is a good time for the first area. 234 is always really nice. Onto the second area already. This is a hunt and seek stage where we have to find and shoot only the red enemies. If you shoot anything that's not red, you have to restart. Using the minimap heavily here, as well as process of elimination. And trying to use our machine gun missiles, which we have infinite ammo of, as much as we can on this one, because we were only given 5 pencils to work with. So you see, like an enemy like this, we're actually going to use the swing of the momentum of the car to angle the machine gun upwards slightly, so we don't have to waste the missile to kill some of these enemies. Now, we only have 2 shots left, so we got to kill that guy, and there are 2 enemies left. Oh, that's my last shot. So 2 enemies left, last shot. We gotta hope he's in the castle. Is he in the castle? It looks like he is in the castle. There we go. And one enemy left. He could be stacked up on all 3 floors of this parking garage. And let's see. And he's on the bottom floor, thankfully. Thankfully on the bottom floor. We did have a missile to shoot him if he was higher, but that would have costed like probably another 8 seconds. Luckily not. On 2 bombs away, I believe this one is called. We have to pick up these rice containers. I mean, that's what I always thought they were. But they're actually just water packets, I guess. French game, by the way. And we just have to put out the 3 dynamite. This is a more simplistic stage. So just drop the cartons of water onto the dynamite. Notice we only have 5 slots to pick items up from. That'll come into play later. And on to the 3rd stage of the 2nd area. The first stage we beat 4 stages in order to unlock the boss, but you only need 3 stages in order to unlock the next area. So we're not going to unlock the boss in this area. We're only going to beat 3 stages to get to the next one. We're just going to do some movement with the plane here, pick up some ammo, get some upgrades, because we're going to take down Godzilla in this stage, and he takes a lot of hits. So you saw we dumped our missiles out of the truck, immediately switch to the plane, get all the upgrades, and just unload into him. We should have enough now after dropping a couple of these correctors. There are 3 upgrades. You have pencils, you have pens, and then you have markers. As for the drop bombs, you have erasers, upgraded erasers, and then correctors. They have bigger radiuses and more damage. On to the 3rd area, hallway mezzanine. This is another area where we're not going to be killing the boss, which means we only need 3 stages to advance. These stages are a bit longer in this area. First one, labyrinth. We have to travel through a series of twists and turns and dead ends and gates that we are going to have to open in order to progress further in, while also avoiding some of these dangers like this thing here. This part in particular is a little bit tricky. We have to make sure we aim for the left barrel, because the car will not have enough force to get through the right side. So you have just enough force to push that barrel out of the way and get up there. Ooh, that was a little bit close. I definitely was getting a little bit nervous about this time in the run. This was an earlier run of the day. I mean, usually I only go for about 2 hours. This was probably my 2nd run, which is pretty rare that I get a run this deep on the 2nd attempt. A little bit of sloppy movement here. I mean, there's really no excuse for that. That could be cleaned up. Just a forfeit of time there. But we had some pretty good RNG on this stage in the 2nd area. Like, usually that could take 10 plus more seconds, so we can afford a little bit of time loss as we come through these gates. You notice we only opened 2. There's a 3rd gate right there we didn't open, because there is a trick where you can actually sneak through the back here, and using a very precise angle to get up this ramp, way harder than it looks. You just barely get up onto the ramp. Like I said, cars have a difficulty going up ramps when you go up them straight. And this stage ends in the toilet. You know, yeah. Not much else to say about that. This stage, another charming one. The stages just get better and better as they go. This one, you just have to, like, knock the deodorant off of the shelf and, like, make the shoes smell better, because they stink right now and they're killing all the animals in the farm. I mean, who comes up with this stuff? It's, like, it's really brilliant. I love it. So we're going to go up here on this cycle-based elevator, if you want to call it that. So there's really not a lot of time save you can have till this point. As long as you make it before this cycle, you're okay. I love shooting the missiles with the theme of the song. It's funny. So we're going to come up. We're going to knock this deodorant off at a very specific angle. Right here. And we actually get an insanely lucky bounce, like over the mouse and right next to the shoes. That, like, never happens. Usually you have to, like, push it a little bit on the floor to get it close enough. But 49. I don't think I've ever had a 49 in a run before. So that stage went amazing. My splits are not ideal on this because I don't know what happened to my any percent splits. I kind of had to, like, refresh them. So there's some golds here that I probably had better golds of. But what are you going to do? So we're coming in here. This is an auto-scroller pretty much. There's like a second or two of variants you could have on this stage based on some unexplained rubber banding that goes on with the NPCs. I don't fully understand it. I wish I did. I really don't truly understand this stage, but I do know that you have to stay within this one jet plane that has the blue trails. As long as you stay within a close enough range of this plane, or jet I should say, then you're pretty good. So you just got to follow them throughout the stage here. And if you notice, the game is kind of progressing you with more and more options and difficulty. Like, the jets are not easy to fly, and they've kind of been easing you into the different types of vehicles, which all feel different and have different kind of mechanics. As we've seen, there are like really 3 different kinds of vehicles. You have the ones that can shoot and attack, then you have the ones that could pick up hostages, and then you have one like in the Labyrinth, the toilet car, which has nothing, like you can't do anything on that car. And so we're coming up to the end of the stage here. Pretty good. Onto the 4th area, the parents' bedroom. So there are 8 areas already on the 4th. This is one we are going to unlock the boss on. So we're gonna be doing 4 stages and the boss in this area. That is just because out of all the areas, this and the first one, the kitchen, are just the has the fastest set of stages to get the bosses quickly. So this one, another auto-scroller, believe it or not, like many auto-scrollers back-to-back here. This one, the train can go through a long path or a short path. You just make it go through the short path, and then you take out all the enemies quick enough to not harm the train. And then you just allow it to guides at the end. I remember here during the run, I actually was hiding my splits because I felt the nerves. Like, I don't know why I was so nervous. I don't usually get this nervous this early in the run. But I was just feeling the nerves, and I was like, I gotta get these splits out of my face because they were making me, like... They were making me more nervous. So I took that time to get the splits out of my way. And on to the next stage. This is a cute one. They do a good job of using the same themed vehicles. Like in other stages, you'll see that this is always the plane for putting out fires. So you're gonna, yeah, the area is flooded here, and we are going to pick up the water and drop it off on the fire. Each fire takes, I believe, 3 waters, if you want to call them, whatever you want to call them, to put them out. And I was definitely a little bit careful here because I noticed I had missed a couple on the last one, so maybe could have saved like a second or 2 on the usual run. But onto one of the more difficult stages here. This one, 12 mercenaries. You have to use the army guys to do the work for you. So you don't actually have a way to attack it. You have to attack things to progress. So this whole stage revolves around just killing 2 guys at the very end, so you don't have to do anything else. A lot of this is damage control, avoiding damage, trying not to get hit, using this one guy to break the gate for you. Turn up here. We have a good amount of health at this point, so I know I'm pretty safe. It's going to look like I get really low here, but I know from my health management that I'm doing pretty okay, although that was pretty close. And just have to kill those 2 guys right there, and that's the only thing required to beat this stage. So, yeah, really cool. On to the next one. So this is the 4th in this area. This is one where you have to take out 5 submarines, and you have like 4 planes to do it. So we're going to use a glitch where we have the plane drive itself here, and then we are going to go in and take out the submarines. They each take like 4 or 5 shots to kill. Each one of those shots was hitting both of them, so we only needed like 5. And then here we get incredibly unfortunate. I don't even know how this happened, but the plane somehow managed to get stuck while it was flying on its own. It gets stuck behind the bookcase, so that ended up costing time. I was better off just not even trying that glitch. And I just barely clipped the plane there, so if you crash into it, it just blows up automatically. Otherwise, those big-ass submarines are going to take 10 shots. Here is Blackjack the boat. This is a very tricky boss that I really would hope to one-cycle, and it looks really good, really great start, and then I waste a lot of missiles right there without hitting the back, and it just... Unfortunately, I missed the one cycle, but I have a really quick recovery to grab the ammo and take out the final portion of the boat. So, not bad. I've had better, but we take a sub 20 there. Onto the garage. We've now unlocked our 2 bosses that we're going to be using in the final boss, and this one, you just have to take out all the UFOs. Not a great start. Usually you can take out like 1 or 2 more UFOs at least, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of time on the cleanup here, and yeah, that one is not there yet, so I opt to go this way, then I go back. Probably not the best idea. And then the one that's usually dead is this last one, so I have to waste about 3 seconds or so turning around and hitting that. You have to be careful not to shoot the cow or any of the NPCs, or else the stage just instantly loses. Onto Vertigo. This is one of my favorite stages. The Pirate's Booty. I always forget about this one coming first. This one is really where you see the game getting broken. You could pick items up through the walls in this. I'm not sure if we had seen that yet. So we're going to actually drive off the edge very precisely, pick the princess up through the wall. We get a really nice landing. We're going to pick up the 4 pieces of treasure through the wall. Those are the 5 requirements you need to beat this stage. Usually that is an absolute clusterfuck of a mess to try to do that one casually, but being able to pick stuff up through walls, we're going to come here, we're going to make sure we switch to the bracelet as the biggest item, drop that off first, and then drop the rest of the items off to have a nice, easy, quick finish. On to the third final stage of this area, Vertigo. This is the one I mentioned earlier. This one, really fun, really cool stage. Uses all 3 vehicles, but not in the speedrun. So we're going to actually send the bus off by itself, then use the tank to take out the enemy with our machine gun, drive the bus into the cart, and then use the machine gun to send the elevator up. Now, while we're stuck in this mandatory animation for the elevator, we're actually driving the tank on the side and doing a very precise setup, which I know I actually had a perfect setup here. You could shoot this missile blindly. You only get 1 missile. I use that missile to shoot a drill. That drill up there is going to spin around and allow the final pathway to raise its altitude slightly so you can actually drive across. Without that shot happening, you would not be able to drive across this final section right here. You would be stuck and not be able to pick up the 3 scientists, which you then have to drive off. I know I get a nice landing here. Sometimes your bus can like do all kinds of crazy stuff. We get a nice landing, drop all 3 guys off. Nice time. Definitely a nice time. We take 54s on that stage for sure. On to Little Big Taxi. One of the best stages in this game for sure. This one's pretty simple. Pick the guy up, drop him off at his girlfriend at the train station. So it's all about movement on this one. Have some nice movement. I think I screw up here. Yeah, I was a little nervous about cutting that corner there. Usually you cut the corners, but I really didn't want to lose the run at this point. So I chose to take a little bit of a safer route. Come up, pick the guy up, drive for a little more movement here. The twists and turns are all kind of calculated, so I kind of know exactly which ways to face at this point. Avoid some of the cars here at the end. I was a little slow, so I have to deal with that silver car. And have a nice landing here, because my last run I had a terrible landing, so I wanted to make sure the landing was good there. Should be like a 41 or 42. Definitely take a 41 on that stage. On to the heist. This is not one that's normally done in like any percents, but it is a faster stage, more difficult, so of course we're going to go for it. This one, you have to get 8 items. We only have 5 slots to pick them up, so we're going to come over here and get the 3 pieces of jewelry, which obviously lost some time there. And we are going to, oh yeah, I lose some time right here too. I'm going to miss this ramp, which is like a really weird mistake, like just a couple seconds down the drain, or down the toilet, I should say. And we're going to come up here. We're going to not go in the cage. You need to get them in the cage, but we're actually going to drop the 3 rings off outside of the cage to grab them later. So now we're going to go and pick up the last 5 items, which are all coins, 2 of them through the wall there. The last 3 are going to be in a piggy bank that is heavily guarded, so your health is definitely something to manage on this stage. Really difficult movement right here to get up this final ramp. Get up there nice and clean. We're going to turn. We're going to get all 3 items through the piggy bank. Normally you have to break the piggy bank in order to get them, but of course picking stuff up through walls is a huge time save. And now we're going to pick those rings up through the wall and drop everything off. 104, not great, but not bad. We take it. With nerves at this point, I was very nervous. Moving on to the next stage, Quiet Rides. Final one in the attic. Only 1 area left after this, and then the final boss. So nerves are definitely setting in. We're going to come over here, this new route I found to save some time. We're going to go directly to that first tank, pick up some upgrades, and I'm definitely on a nice pace here to do the cycle that I'm looking for. And we're going to come up here, which triggers these trucks. 3 shots. Make sure you keep your circle on them, because the homing attack will stop homing in if you turn away. And then we are going to come down here, take this tank out before he goes over the edge. And now we are free to drive through this final section. I get stuck on the wall a little bit, not really sure what happened there, and take out this tank, which saves about 4 to 5 seconds compared to the usual, like, waiting for them to come to you. And we are now on to the greenhouse, where we are going to do dogfights. So this one, we have to take out 3 planes. I miss a shot. I'm like getting a little nervous, but then luckily we get missiles. And missiles is just RNG. It has like a 1 in 10 chance, and we get it. And now we can just shoot missiles at the final planes, which makes this so much easier. Don't have to worry about shooting them with machine guns and missile management. Just really nice. This being the last area, it's like surprisingly, it has the fastest set of 3 stages. So now we're going to go on to Crazy Train. I know that this one is not ideal for me. Like, still get the one cycle, but it is a little bit sloppy here. You can see I miss a little bit of shots there. I take early damage, and then I'm actually going to drop these 2 missiles and miss. Like you can see, I'm not even over the train tracks, so only 10 upgraded erasers to work with. But luckily, all of them land. Sometimes the enemies can actually shoot your missiles out of midair. And I have the second upgrade for the machine gun, and you mash A really fast. It's actually faster than just holding it down. It's not true for the other 2, the first and the third upgrade, but the second upgrade, you can actually mash for faster shots. And now we're going to clean it up, take out the sides. That was pretty fast, like, but 37, I mean, we could get 30s on that stage easily, so not ideal. Definitely lost some time, but not going to complain with these nerves on this pace. I have the splits covered. I was just focusing on getting this run done. This is a pretty easy stage in the grand scheme of things, but towards the end of the run, it can be something to be nervous about, so I just make sure I come in here and cleanly pick up the bomb. Definitely don't want to lose my run at this point. And this one's called the Piano Predicament. And blow up the plane just like that. Normally, you got to like take out all the enemies, and it takes a lot more time than that, but we do it really nice, really clean. On to the final boss here, Huggy Bear. We only have Cyclone and Blackjack the boat, and all the other bosses we didn't kill are still here on the stage. So they take about 15 shots to die. Take out Roly Poly. We're going to take out the dump truck, Vroom Vroom here, and we're actually going to ignore everything else. We're going to ignore Peggy. We're going to ignore Buggy. I actually missed Vroom Vroom here. I have to take a couple extra shots. I'm getting low on health. I'm definitely nervous here, but I know I have 50 shots. This jumper takes about 40 shots to die. I see I'm missing a couple of shots, and I'm just hoping I have enough shots to take this thing out. And the last shot takes it out, luckily. Was definitely relieved when that happened here. Onto the boat. You have 99 shots to take this thing out, and I know it's going to move to the left based on where I killed it. And I'm going to just unload and try to get it out of the jumper phase here. Looks like I was hoping I did enough shots there. I'm going to go pick up some ammo to be safe. And now I have 99 shots to take out his arms and his head. So here we go. Take out the right arm. Take out the left arm. I get good RNG, being able to shoot the head right away. It's not always possible. We get bad RNG with his pathing, but luckily we just adjust. We take him out. Huggy Bear down. At this point, I'm relieved. I know I've got this in the bag. Onto the final after stage. All we got to do is pick up the passengers, watch the final cutscene, and this is a new world record. So here we go, onto this final plane. This is the only time in the game you use this plane. It's really cool, by the way. I love the look of it. And we're just going to come here in the cellar. There are 5 hostages we need to pick up in the hangar, but of course, with this game, we're not going to go in the hangar. We're going to pick them up right through the wall, and then we're going to trigger the ending cutscene, and that is the run. 21:02:03, something like that. We'll retime it after, and I will let the final cutscene play out.
Captain! Captain!
Amazing, charming game. All the missions are unique. The scaling, the way that they kind of teach you everything about the game. The levels really just get really creative towards the end. Absolutely amazing. My favorite game of all time. I mean, what else more is there to say? I mean, let's just hope that this guy got fired from his job afterwards, because, I mean, if I was in that plane, I would not have been happy. Let's just say that. Dude almost crashed into a mountain while he was sleeping while flying a plane. But the lesson learned here is, hey, if you have great memories as a kid, I don't know. I guess your imagination will just save your life one day randomly on your job. Sure. But yeah, these guys here you're seeing, I love this. These are all the guys that made the game. Small game company, no cliche is the name of their company. This is pretty much their only game. SEGA actually picked this up. This is a SEGA title. And yeah, these guys just kind of put this game together, and that was kind of it. Just left this, and here I am enjoying it over 25 years later. So, you know, shout outs to these guys for making this incredible, charming game that is really like a one of. You know, I know there are similar sort of games, but nothing quite like this one, you know. It really needs a remake. I would love to be a part of some sort of remake if there ever was one. But yeah, I mean, not much else to say. I guess I will allow the end credits to roll, and I will sign off out of here. Thank you so much for enjoying this speedrun world record with me. I'm very happy to have this time. And yeah, until the next one. Peace.